Welcome to the Self Reality Podcast, a show where we like to talk all things reality TV, the good, the bad, and everything in between. I'm your host, Angie, and we're here today to talk Survivor. We're at season 49. That's right, season 49, episode 5. And here to talk about it with me is my brother, fellow podcaster, and fellow Survivor aficionado, Nick Hanlon. Welcome, Nick.
Fellow family member. Did you
And
say that?
fellow family member. Well, I just said too many things. I gotta.
We're in the fellowship of the Hanlons,
Yeah, exactly. So
as they
welcome.
would say on Ring of the Lords or whatever it's called. Lord of the Rings.
I like that. Ring of
King
the
of the
Lords.
King of the Lords.
Ring of the Lords.
Game of Swords or whatever it's.
Thrones of Games. Okay, so I digress. Before we dive right in, which we will momentarily, please be sure to like and subscribe here at the Self Reality Podcast. And while you're at it, go on over and check out Nick's podcast. First one is the Dirty Glass Podcast, booze reviews for the unrefined. It's a show where Nick and Denny like to drink drinks, rate them, and talk a lot of shit. And then you have, of course, Kayfabe Wrestling Talk with handsome Nick Hanlon and Matthew Barnaby, where they talk about wrestling the way it should be talked about. And if you disagree, you're probably wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You got it.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Look at, I got it that time. I got it in one shot. So let's jump right in, because you know what? I have a lot of notes. I really quite enjoyed this episode. Like, I found that there was a lot of game. For me, there was a lot of gameplay and sort of strategy and human interaction, and I dig that. So if we all recall, they had the game switch up last week. Mr. Matt did Gen X.
Did we not have it? Did we have an extra challenge this week, or was that the week before?
There's no. There's just a journey this week.
It was
Last week.
Well, that's what I mean.
Last week they had the fake out, the non-challenge fake out. So there wasn't an extra challenge. This week we just have a challenge. It's just
weird, like when they lengthen it, they only do one challenge. You think with the length of the show, they would be two challenges habitually, and I think like with the journey, it cut it up a little bit. You know, you get some social, you get the journey, you get some social, you get a challenge, social thing.
Maybe that's why it was like.
That's why before without that extra thing, it's just like tons of social, and they got to figure out, you know, especially last season, like they're like, what do we do?
I was gonna say, to your point, last season they were just
grabbing for straws.
Yeah, sorry, they were grasping for straws in terms of camp life, because there was just, we love each other and we're gonna be loyal forever. You know, it was just, and you know, there's a little bit with like Camilla and Kyle, but then they were so secretive, which they had to be, that the rest of it was like, we love you, we're loyal, and we're just gonna. You could list who was getting voted out in order. Like, it was just want. This year, you called it at the start. Like, we have some very interesting different personalities, and we'll get into it shortly. Well, pretty soon, after I just talk about the aftermath at Hina. We have the Sage and Shannon, the Sage v Shannon saga, which I am loving. So it's just interesting to me. So first, Matt was voted out. So Jason, remember we said last week, like, maybe this will kind of kick him in the you know what, so he can kind of get into the game. I think he did a little bit. He came back and gave a big thank you speech. And then, you know, I don't know how clued in he is, but he does seem to be trying to play more. And then you have Savannah. I have to make this point because last week you had pointed out, we have said weekly, like, the Hina tribe chanting is just so cringe.
Nancy pointed it out, yeah.
It was Rizzo, by the way, who said cringe right at the challenge, because I rewatched Pisa. It was Rizzo, and then someone said, Savannah said embarrassing. Okay. So to kind of follow up on that, Savannah says, like, you guys are chanting, like, you think we don't notice that and we don't want to vote you out? And it's the point you made, Nick. So well played, sir. And then
they started the war from the chant, she said.
You know, I like Savannah. She is good TV. She is very dramatic. Like, she's good with words, probably because she's a reporter or a former reporter. Excellent at talking, but she's really good at sort of conflating things, you know what I mean, making them even more like, it's very dramatic language she uses, and I really enjoy that. So Kella tribe, so we have Shannon just hardcore waking Steven up at, like, God knows 5 a.m. or whatever, and like talking strategy. Have we seen
I haven't even had a coffee yet,
right?
I mean, we've
Very
I don't
often.
know about waking up. You've seen
Yeah.
people wake up and go to the fire like really early, and then like only two people will get up and they'll chat.
But
But
it's not
getting up where you're
organic.
just like still laying in bed before you've got up to take a piss,
Well,
it's a little much.
and waking someone up, like to me, that's grounds for removal.
It's like if we went on vacation and then I wake up and go 2 inches from your face and go breakfast, 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 or something like, you know what I mean? You'd
You
want to
would get
punch the person in the fucking face. Like,
you would have to move your head real quick because I
that's what I
might
mean.
want
Like,
to
you'd be
be
like,
like,
what the F is, and that's just like he said, not like I have coffee, but I haven't even had my coffee yet.
well, and what I'd also found interesting, this is where I think Shannon, and I'm going to talk a bit more about it once we kind of go back and forth between the tribes. This part is just interesting because she's like, and the survivor love languages, talking, what is she talking strategy? Is it like you talk to one person who hasn't been talked to, so they got excited that you talked to them about strategy? Like I think she talked to Alex, maybe? Was it Alex? Yes, she talks to Alex, so he's excited. The dude's been on like a losing tribe forever, right? He was on the original Kella. They got decimated, so sure, he feels good. Oh my God, someone's talking strategy, but it's like Shannon's not picking up the vibe what people are throwing down. I think
She,
she's kind of 50-50. Half people are kind of buying into it a little bit and half aren't. But as soon as they start talking about it, which we saw MC, Christina, and Steven having a conversation. They're like, I don't know. She's going hard. And when they found out that she's saying the same thing and trying to connect and game with every single person, I think that's going to be her downfall.
didn't somebody rat out MC for talking at some point? Shannon immediately ratted out MC. I have written down. Was MC talking some game that I wasn't that I forget about?
Call, actually.
All right, good
But
enough.
maybe because Shannon is former Uli and MC, I think, is former Hina. So it is possible that she tried to talk to her. I didn't remember that piece though, but Shannon, I think we're going to start to see a little bit of it. We may possibly see a downfall with Shannon. That's my thought, but we'll get back to that in a second because we're back at Hina and we have, poor Jason.
He's
He's
trying to
he's
do social
he's
connections, talking about Pokemon and stuff.
and unfortunately, the person he jives with the most is the person second last. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Who's also on the bottom, which is Jawan. And then we have like he takes her water bottle. I don't understand what is happening with him taking her stuff, and I don't recall previous scenes where people take their like day-to-day water bottle or their backpack. Like we've seen them intentionally steal a shoe or what have you, or go
Yeah, but
through their
these small
bag.
annoyances can get you out.
I know. Well, that's going to lead to him. I thought they edited it well because it looked like he may go out anyway because of those things.
Well, I mean, even back in the day when like somebody was chewing on bark, remember the like
Yeah, yeah.
early survivors? I forget it was.
They still do it.
I know, but like she thought it was like the girl, and what I'm talking about thought it was beef jerky or something, and told everybody he snuck in food somehow, and they voted him out. That was like this is like first 10 seasons, but like
That's crazy. I
it's
don't
just
even.
little tiny things that you'll just get stuck on, and you tell people about it, and then they're gonna get stuck on it as well. This is years.
Well, and it's the same as like people used to get voted out for eating extra food and stuff. Because I was watching season 1 recently, and like Rudy almost got voted out because he was just eating the food. And we have
Right.
to discuss like the whole, it's interesting. Then we're back. So I thought that was sort of an interesting, thing where it's about these little things, these little grievances. And I do think Savannah, and she's admitted it, has a very particular sort of OCD sort of behaviors. But back at Kella, Sage is like, losing her mind. Sage is losing her mind watching Shannon like bop around person to person to person to person and just schmoozing everyone. And
Yeah,
I
she had
think
the devil eyes.
she did. She was like, she had the,
Yeah, she was intense. Her eyebrows
well,
don't help her.
no, I know because they go up so high. I think she just like, you're right. And it was very interesting because she ends up talking to people. Like I think she saw Alex and Shannon talking, and Shannon's pulling kind of the flirty thing. She like I think Sage said similarly to say poverty.
Yeah.
She's ha 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 he whatever, trying to play up Alex. But then I found it interesting that immediately Alex and Steven are talking, and Sage hears them and they say, no, we see it. And it's so nice. It was just so nice to see her relieved because Shannon is so clueless that Sage is actually has the ability to play a game, that she just sees her as a nothing. This is where this whole odd duck sort of ghost person who's been bullied or ghosted in their life comes into play. She's sort of the odd one out a little bit, right? Sage is
She's just a
weird.
lot smarter than she acts.
Exactly.
People are
I also
underestimating her,
Well, and I
especially
think
Shannon.
Shannon's underestimating her the most, but I think the most one of the interesting aspects of Sage is that as someone who has been bullied or has been excluded, you do sometimes develop more of an intuition or sort of a sense because you want to fit in, but you're always sort of hyper aware of other people and you're hyper aware of behaviors. You become almost more intuitive or more in touch with people's behaviors, the vibe of things, whereas Shannon is playing the popular girl game. Like she's just playing like on different things and she's just listening to kind of talk at people. What is it that they like? Oh, they like this. I'm going to talk about this. What is it that they like? They like that. And she's not seeing that Sage actually is already got her number. I don't think she has any idea that Sage is onto her.
Well, and the two folks also that you mentioned, I forget who you said, but
Steven and Alex?
they ratted
Yeah.
Shannon out to Sage too, right?
Yeah,
Like
which
right
is
away,
awesome.
they're like, they dropped your name, and she's like, I knew it.
But that's why
And
it's
that's
going
when
to
she
get
asked Alex, are you in love with her or whatever? He's like, no, I'm just nice. Blah blah blah.
But she
So
was already seeing
be
what Sage
careful
was
who you
doing.
talk to. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. Back at Hina, have you ever heard the term mukbang?
Yeah, I have that written down. A mukbang is when you eat mass amounts of food on camera.
It sounds
You
like the
never
most
seen a
awful.
mukbang?
I don't think so because I'm not good with listening to people eat. Because that's what I picked up from how they described it. They said it's people eating a ton of food and
There's
and
a
the
mukbang
sound
right there.
and the sound of them eating food. Yeah, that I can hear the slurp. Like I couldn't. No, no,
It's a
no.
lot. It could be anything, but that's kind of like the
Wow.
the trend.
Well, and they were talking about how that like a lot of them watch it or I no thanks. That does not appeal to me. I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, but no.
Yeah, it's really popular.
Yeah, apparently it's shockingly popular. I may look it up just to see how popular it is. Nah, I don't want it on my algorithm.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Look it up on your work computer.
Exactly. And then the journey, which so it becomes MC and Nate, and this is one of my least favorite journeys we've ever seen. It's just carrying like it was they're just carrying sandbags, which would have been horrifying, like the amount of sandbags that they had to move. I mean, it was just designed to exhaust two people. And then once you get to a certain place, you have the potential to get a reward or an advantage
Did you see
after.
J1 rig it though? Did you not see that part where he rigged
No,
it
it was
so
Nate. It
Jason
was
can't
Nate.
go? No, but it was J1 that did the rock pull.
Jawan, oh, back in the rock pool. Yes, I did. He put it right on the top so Nate would get it because you're right. He didn't want Jason to go because Jason would have went for the advantage.
For sure. He might
Because
not have won it because he was up against MC, and
she
that's
is
why.
like
Yeah, she's like she
her
could be a
level
wrestler.
of fitness, the fact that she was exhausted after, I'm like, I would have died. I mean, and then Nate talking to her, I would have had a hard time with someone talking to me while doing that physical of labor and you can hardly breathe.
Well, he was just trying to kind of distract her too a little bit, I think.
Well,
You
he
know,
was
when they
trying to.
figured out that he could go for the advantage, and he's like, "Well, let's just both do this," and blah blah blah. Like he was smart. Don't let
It was
this
a smart
Hulk
move.
woman, don't race Hulk woman.
I know she's so strong. And yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna win a race against MC. Look at her. Like she was like outpacing him easily. I did look up regular sandbags, average weight, 35 to 40 pounds a bag.
Yeah, yeah, and
In
there's
that heat. In that
200
heat.
of them.
So that was kind of interesting. And I did think it was interesting MC talking about I always, I was bullied, so she was talking about how she used to be bullied for being too muscular, and it's nice to see like she's made it to the other side and proud and fit, and she's a trainer. Like I think that's great and inspiring. So I like that little story too. So that was, but I mean, it was a very like low. What's the word? I don't know.
I mean, if they
It
would have
seemed.
raced for the thing, it would have been different. And I think that's kind of the plan. Oh, they'll probably go for the advantage, but they didn't. They just went back and forth.
I think who I agree, and I think whoever designed this particular challenge overplayed it. I think they should have had half that many bags. Like it was too heavy. The MC, who I think if it was maybe half the amount of those sandbags or half the weight, would have raced for the advantage. I think she would have gone for it, but it
They
was
did get it
just.
done with a lot of time left, though,
Well, that's the one last thing about this. Why would he call her back so early?
because he doesn't want her to get it. He was just kind of messing with her.
Oh, okay, because it just seemed like odd and way too obvious to me.
But yeah,
It
mean,
was, he's call, yeah, anyway. Neither of them went for it, which I get, because you would just be so exhausted. You don't want to run through the forest like looking for an advantage, and who knows? What if it's a beware? Like probably not a beware, but anyway. So it was kind of a bit of a letdown for me. So no one lost their vote. I'm surprised that no one is suspicious though, that they're like, because they just told the story. Oh well, we just moved sandbags, and if we didn't get them moved
nobody
in
lost a
time,
vote. Yeah. Yeah, it's
I would
not.
have
I would have been suspicious. Yeah.
I would have been suspicious too. But maybe that'll come up when someone puts Nate's name out or something, or MC's name. So okay, we're back
Because they're both kind of trusted though.
They are, well,
Different,
those
I
are,
guess.
yeah. Nate is very
If it
trusted.
was
So
Jason, they would have been like, no, right? But
yeah, they wouldn't have believed it. You're right.
Nate's like the dad. MC's
He
pretty
is. She's pretty solid.
liked.
I think when the time is right, she's gonna play some cards though. I think she's strategic. She doesn't like some of the dumb things they do. She's just good at being quiet about it.
Well,
Very
hopefully when
good.
the merge should be happening soon, I assume.
I think,
Not next episode, but
episode after. So we're back at Kella, and this is where it gets real interesting. Shannon goes away to whatever by herself, and then Sage just jumps in. Like Sage just goes in and tells them about Rizzo having an advantage. I just said she takes a hit at Shannon with all of them there, which is it's a bold move. Like that was a really bold move.
yeah, she's playing no Sage.
I'm impressed because she does play up the odd, and she says like the weirdest things and sort of like whatever, but just scratch a little under the surface. Like that was a bold move to tell all of the remaining tribe when Shannon's gone for not that long, probably.
Well,
Was
she
super.
did make a quote. I can tell when people think I'm stupid, and obviously Shannon thinks
She
that.
knows.
She knows it.
Well, yeah, because Shannon just assumes she's dumb. That's going to be her downfall. I think Shannon's going to end up being a blindside at a certain point because I think she's cocky, and I
Shannon.
think
Sage. Well, I think she's has self-importance.
Yeah.
Just like
everyone.
The last guy that got voted out, Matt, or
yeah, Matt.
Yeah. Like, and then just like the first person that got voted out.
But this speaks to what we've been talking about, I think, throughout, where, well, overconfidence is always a conversation we have, but I think the added layer or nuance to me is intuition and just observation. And I think you said it last episode, listening. She's talking at people. She's only listening in as much as she's looking for a way in to talk. She's not really, I'm going to add another nuance to your listening comment, Nick. She's not actively listening. She's just picking up sort of surface things. Okay, I think I can flirt with Alex because he likes to flirt. I think I can dig into this part of spirituality because they like that. And they like, she's not really going in, and I don't think she's making those connections because it's very, very, it's performative. Like it's performative. She's not, it doesn't feel true. Anyway, I thought it was interesting, and you're right. When she, like Sage knows she thinks she's dumb, so she's like, okay, hug, whatever.
Well, you got to play it up. She's smart. Sage is smart.
She is smart. I'm impressed.
She's talking to the right people about stuff, which a lot of people have made a mistake doing. She's got her head in the game. She's just weird.
But I think
that don't mean she's stupid.
No, weird isn't stupid. Some would argue we're a little weird in our family. Like weird isn't stupid. Weird's weird. And she's probably amplifying it. Just like Shannon is amplifying the spirituality and all that kind of stuff. But I just find it fascinating that someone who purports to work in wellness and spirituality lacks an intuition in this game. Maybe, like, I'm sure in real life she doesn't, but in this game, she's not catching it. Her self-importance, arrogance, whatever. So back at Kella, they're playing up, and I'm starting to think, well, and it turns out this is the edit, the whole Jawan Savannah thing. I found it weird that Savannah, and maybe he has been listening to her conversations, but he's laying there and they come up and sit down, start talking, and then he kind of says, hey, I'm here guys, and she gets mad about it. Well, he was there first. That's not his fault. So I kind of was like, what is happening?
Jawan.
I felt bad. I think he's picking up that he's on the outs. Then we're at the challenge, Nick. Oh, and they come in. Kella comes in doing a chant. Like, no.
Swim to cage. It's a very big cage. Scaffolding even. They all have to carry this very heavy cage out of the ocean, right? And they just have to carry it to a spot. That took forever. It looked so heavy.
Well, they have to remove
And
the
then one
sandbags
person's
first
got to.
too,
Did they have to do sandbags? Oh yeah, they had to remove the sandbags, and the
which they
one team
forgot
forgot to
one.
remove one, which is an extra 40, 50 pounds, whatever it is. Then once they get there, they got to take one person under to be the rebounder, and they got to shoot balls from inside the cage into nets.
Nets that are like there's 3 nets and they're
Pretty
one
simple one,
is
actually.
it's pretty straightforward, but wow, this one
Difficult.
took it out of them. I
Hmm.
mean, Nate, who is usually pretty even keeled, like yelled at someone, which I was very surprised to see. Because someone's like, "Do you see what?" Like they weren't in the right spot when they had to land the scaffolding cage thing down, and
Hmm.
someone is trying to direct him, and he kind of lost it a little bit. And this one was a tight race too. It was kind of neck and neck. There was a point where one team was in ahead of the other, but there were different points of that. But you can see they're really showing you the absolute exhaustion on people at these challenges.
Hmm.
Like they're toast.
They're putting them through it.
It's that, and think for what I was thinking about, and I don't know why one of them didn't get to sit out, is Nate and MC. They just transported 200 sandbags.
Oh, they didn't. That's
Man,
right. They didn't sit out.
they didn't
That's
sit them
funny.
out. I mean, they set out Christina, I think, and I'm just like, why wouldn't you? I think Nate's, I can't remember which one, but one of them should have gotten to sit out. Like that
Did
was
you
a
see
crazy.
Christina looking under the chair and stuff for
Yeah, that was smart.
bandages?
That was smart. I haven't seen. She's the first one I've seen looking for it. So
Oh yeah.
and then at the end of it, Jeff is I find that they're almost, I don't know if it's breaking the fourth wall, but they're really going into the experience of Survivor more than I recall in past seasons. Jeff is like, this is one of the hottest times I've ever been in Fiji. We've been coming to Fiji for 10 years, and it's just, everyone's just toast. Everyone's done. And whenever Jeff validates something by speaking it aloud, you kind of feel it a little harder, I
Definitely
think,
makes it more real.
and the fact that he said, I'm exhausted, and I mean, I'm eating, sleeping. He probably
Mhm.
has someone holding an umbrella for him or something.
Oh, he's probably got an air conditioned tent.
Of course. Well, he probably has a hut. He's not in a tent. He's in
Something,
like
not tent,
a,
hut.
well, like, yeah, think about the where they went for the medical, the base camp.
Yeah, there's buildings somewhere
He's in some beautiful not beautiful, but he's in some decent cabin, I think, there.
for sure.
So who wins? Who wins? Oh, Kello wins again. So now Hina's becoming the losing tribe. And then, oh God, so they win. Why do they do the chicken thing? It's not a reward. Like it just seems to be
It's a job.
problematic. Someone said that it's a job.
I mean, this is the first
And
time I've seen them kill one. I don't think I've ever seen them kill one
season
before.
one, season one.
They kill one in season one?
I think so. This
Oh,
time,
okay.
but to speak, I'm glad I'm kind of glad you're mentioning it. That was dramatic. The emotions and just Alex, it was Alex and Steven who did it. There's no way I could have done it. And it was
The
just
people involved
interesting.
definitely made it dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, they had to
you
wring
gotta
its
eat, you
neck.
gotta kill sometimes.
I know.
That's just what you gotta do.
Well, Nick, hopefully
It
you
ain't
get
easy
my
to kill
5.
something, that's for sure.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's very, to me, to just, wow, that was
I could
crazy.
kill it. I would want to clean it, but I could kill it.
Oh, I know. I could not. I definitely could
I
not.
wouldn't feel
No.
good about it. If you're
Oh no,
hungry,
I
you're
know you
hungry.
wouldn't. But what
And
I
they were pretty
appreciate,
happy eating that chicken, weren't they?
well, yeah, listen, I totally agree, and I think that's why Alex and Steven stepped up and said, they didn't want to do it either, but they're like, someone's got to do it. We need to eat. And they were all just like, they were mowing it down. So, but it's just interesting because I mean, we all, unless you're vegetarian, vegan, like we're eating this stuff. So it's just, I think Alex is the one who said, I've never had to do that before. It's one of the most difficult things he's ever done. Interesting. Back at Hina, we're super sad and depressed. Sophie seems really depressed. She's lost every challenge.
Yeah,
Can
it's
you
tough.
imagine like the demoralization that would in the
It's a
sort
tough
of,
couple weeks or week, whatever she's been there.
well, it feels probably longer, but yeah, exactly. And then the
Well,
edit is
every minute there would seem forever.
exactly.
I mean, especially
And
this
now
generation. I mean, you could handle it earlier better, but now everybody phones and entertainment all the time. It's difficult.
I know, like one of the comedians I watch talks about that. Like he's like, people talk about mindfulness back in the 90s. Half our life was mindful. Like we didn't have a computer in our pocket.
People don't know how to be bored anymore.
No. Or just sit. It's not even always bored. You just sit with yourself. People
Yeah,
do not want to sit
people.
with themselves and their thoughts. So so now we're back at Hina where they've lost, so they're gonna have to vote someone else out. They're editing hardcore to try and make it look like maybe someone else is going home but Jason, where I'm just like, I wrote down here Jason's going home. It could have been someone else,
It was
but
pretty obvious.
I was pretty confident. Well, and his argument, his strategy was, well, I have connections with Hina, not helping your case. Is I get he was trying to spin it and say, oh, I have connections and I can help bring you guys in because there's no tribe lines, even though a day before he was not willing to work with people in other tribes, right? And then they have the chanting. There was just no way. There was just
If they
no
would
way.
have won, he would have had hope.
Yeah, because he could have made it to the merge, but I was like, there's no way. And he's a danger to bring to final, and he's
100%.
a danger for many reasons. He's a danger for the merge because he has so many Hina tribe members. He's a danger because he's smart, pretty fit, pretty likable. Like, you just got to vote him out, which is sad. I like him. So tribal council, is there anything, did I miss anything? I don't think so.
I don't really have any notes. It was just them just all lying.
I found interesting. I'm finding this season, and maybe it's just because I'm paying more attention, but they're really talking about the experience. So describing what they're going through. And I know they've said it before, but there was just something very not dramatic, but just something more real about it, saying, no sleep, no food, what their bodies are going through, just that really strong description of it. And then Jawan said some weird stuff, I thought, talking about, I think
No, just
he's very,
confidence stuff he has,
well, that he's not
social
confident, that
anxiety,
he's
and
got
yeah.
social anxiety. That was kind of interesting. And I felt like saying, well, I probably said it out loud, Jawan, you're picking this up because it's what's happening, because
Mhm.
he is on the bottom. So it's interesting that I think he's having a lot of self-doubt. He probably has that bent anyway, but he's also got there's a little crew that doesn't like him, and he's sort of the next to go if they stay on that tribe. I think
Yeah, if they
he's
lose
it.
again, it ain't gonna work.
So I kind of feel bad for him. And I thought the discussion about doing self-doubt and self-examination is interesting. I think it speaks to the point we just made about not knowing how to sit with yourself. So if you're not used to sitting with yourself, and I think if you're coming from a world that we come from of just constant information and just nonstop, when you have to stop and think and comparison, right? Because like social media and all of that breeds a lot of comparison. You probably sit and just overanalyze. As an overanalyst, I get
No,
it. You
for
would
sure.
overanalyze. So the mental game would be on top of like no food, no sleep, heat, brutal, brutal.
Hungry,
So
uncomfortable, hot,
yeah. So
paranoia. And
clean
that's the name
sweep,
of the game.
clean sweep, Jason.
Yeah, Jason's gone. Poor old
As soon as
Canadian
I
guy.
saw he put a vote to Rizzo, I knew they hadn't spoken to him about maybe Jawan, so I knew he was going home. I think he should have played a shot in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't. That was because he was talking about it before. Like this would have been the time to do it. But
Absolutely the time to
and
do
then
it.
Rizzo's all paranoid in the clips that he got a vote. I mean, who do you think he got a vote from, Rizzo? Like,
The
do the
guy's
math, dude.
gone.
Yeah, do the math, dude.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Everyone voted for Jason. So, I mean, it was a bit, I found it an interesting episode with a lot of strategy. Again, I'm
It
really
was a good
curious
one.
to see where the Sage and Shannon things go. I just love that Shannon is so clueless that Sage isn't that dumb. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I judged her too at the beginning. I was like, she's a flake, but she's
Well,
smart.
I did a little bit, but I'm like, I didn't go in too hard. I'm like, I got to give this another couple episodes. Like, let's see
Well,
where
you just never know.
she says wild things, and we've known many a person who says wild, weird
But she also knows
things.
how to keep her mouth shut, which is rare when it comes to these kind of people. So,
That's why I think she's
but
an
she knows how
odd
to
duck.
fake it. Yeah, I
I
think
think
she's, yeah.
but she's amplifying her oddness. I think she's just over amplifying it because you're right. She's not just speaking up. She's saying something when it makes sense or when it's time to make a bold move. I think she has good instincts, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure she does.
So I'm interested to see where she goes. I actually, right at this point, I hope she does well. I like someone who's being underestimated doing well. Like, good for them. Play it,
Yeah, she could make it to the end.
Well, if she can really get a couple solid alliance members and then make everyone else like just keep everyone thinking she's dumb, and then she would only have to have one really good play. You know what I mean? She'd have to have one
Mm.
good play where she did this and no one knew she masterminded it. And she could just win it all if she did something like that. And I think she could. With how she's acting and her like saying all that stuff the second that Shannon left, like she's maneuvering. So anyway,
Yep.
I'm impressed. It was an interesting episode just to see, and even seeing Nate get pissed off, that was kind of interesting too. Jawan, I think, not realizing that he's picking up self-doubt because the odds are against him right now. So anyway, good episode. That's all I had. Anything else for you?
No, on to episode
Okay.
6. Let's see what happens. I
Let's
liked
see.
it. I think we're going to get a merge after this episode, but
I can't wait.
which I'm pretty excited about because
Well, I hope
it's just the same
Kella.
shit over and over again right now. And let's merge up. Let's get the drama started because the show don't start until the merge happens.
And I kind of hope Kella loses next week. We need like let's even it out. So thank you everybody for watching. Like and subscribe over here. Tell us what you think. Do you have any opinions about the show? Head on over to the Dirty Glass Podcast and Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. Watch, share, notifications, listen, do all the stuff. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.